Hey guys, welcome back to the Bayside Fabrication YouTube channel. Well, we're at the point now where we're just about ready to get driving this car. Now, the only thing I got the idle sorted out, and the only thing I have to do now is sort out, there's a bubble in the system, I'm pretty sure, or the thermostat's not opening up for some reason. I mean, it's a brand new thermostat, but I don't know. I find it kind of hard to believe that it wouldn't open up, but I've seen crazier things happen. Could it be I'm sure it's just a Chinese piece of crap. But anyways, we're gonna try to just burp this system and get the car up to temp and try to get it down to where the thermostat's operating and everything. So last time I had the car running for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, and it got up to about 200. I could turn on the heater core in the car. It'd bring it down to like low 190s. And then, but my radiators weren't heating up. So I have a feeling there's probably just air in the system or something like that. So today I'm just gonna run this thing, try to do a few diagnostic things on the coolant system. And once we get that sorted out, we'll be pretty much ready to party with getting this thing tuning. I do have to finish up the wastegate exhaust, and those parts are coming in today. So fingers crossed that I can get that done as well before the weekend here. So I'm gonna get cracking on this and we'll see how it goes. Well, right here my GoPro froze up. So what I was going to show you is the thermostat housing I'm using, which you can see right here, is a K24 thermostat housing. I guess they are notorious for not working, having nothing but problems and things like that. So I was just simply going to switch to a stock thermostat housing. However, my intake manifold, my throttle body, the way I have it designed, the stock neck, the way it's oriented, the stock coolant line hits all of that. So that doesn't work. So essentially I'm stuck having to use this thermostat housing. And it's just, it's been a nightmare. Just coolant all over me, mess everywhere, pulling this thermostat on and off about 6 times. Okay, well, I just threw this in some water, heated it up, and this starts to pop open at about 192, which is not what we want. It actually says 82 degrees Celsius, which is 179 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's supposed to be a 180 degree thermostat, but it doesn't open until about 190, and actually doesn't even really start until about 192. So this is a really common, like GM, I guess, thermostat. So I'm gonna go see if I can get one that's halfway decent. And that will just give us a better starting point, because I don't want this car running, on the hotter side of things. And from everything I've read with this exact thermostat setup, that actually doesn't pop in the car until a lot of guys are seeing like 204. That's when it really starts to open for them. So this one, like I said, it tested at 190 something, but I assume by the time this opens, other aspects of the cooling system may be much hotter than this. So we don't want to be in the 200s. So I'm gonna go find a new thermostat at the local parts store and see what we can come up with. Okay guys, just did a test here. At 190, this thermostat just opened. This one's been open since 180. All right guys, let's see if this new thermostat setup does the trick. This car takes about 20 minutes just to even get to about 180, just so you guys know. It's pretty crazy. Well guys, no luck. It took about 40 minutes, but the car got up to 212 where I shut it off. It started boiling a little bit, so I don't know the solution. I would hit the throttle and it would cool the car down about 5 degrees, when I brought the revs up, because the pump was flowing, but I'm not sure if that's just that 3/16 hole I drilled in the thermostat, but the thermostat definitely isn't opening like it should, because if it was, it'd be working. So there must be an air bubble behind there or something. I don't even know how that would work, but let me figure it out. All right, just trying a few things before I spaz. I got the rear elevated I had to do this with my cart like crazy. Like, it was just overheating. And then as soon as I got that bubble out, it was good ever since. So it might be an issue similar to that. So we're gonna try this. Well guys, this is turning into a little bit of a nightmare. Took about 45 minutes for the car to get up to temperature, and it just steadily climbed by like 1 degree here and there until, you know, same situation. So here's my thought, and this is kind of a last ditch effort before I come up with, or have to come up with something else. I put a barb fitting on here, and I also drilled another hole in the thermostat. So my idea, and this is what the stock housing looks like, just so you guys see. So my thought is this, if I can pressurize with my bleeder here, if I can pressurize coolant to go in here, this is one end of the system, and it will essentially push everything backwards more or less through the radiators and get any air bubbles out of that, and then pop, the air bubbles will pop up out of my reservoir up here because that's the highest point in the system. So I was trying to pressurize from the top of the of my coolant line, my coolant reservoir there, and I didn't really have a way to get it out the backside of the system. So long story short is I think we're gonna just give this a shot, see how it goes, and we'll take it from there. But very frustrating, and I hate messes more than anything. So just having coolant all over my arms, and it's like hot and humid out, and there's a tropical storm coming, so it's like extra sticky. Just drives me nuts, but that's why we have beers, right? All right, guys, I'm in a real situation here. I got coolant all over myself. I hate my life, but this is what we're doing. We got this, this is actually a power bleeder. It's supposed to be a hand pump, but I just pulled out the gauge and I'm using it, compressed air, to just move it along. So this line here is going into the lower thermostat housing. So this seems like it's working, guys. I'm getting a ton of air bubbles popping out of here. Now, when I pressurize this, it's not air that's running through this, it's liquid. Just the way this is set up, so it's not like I'm pushing air through it, it's pushing solid liquid, and I'm consistently having to just keep it topped off here. I'm hoping this does the trick. The coolant temp is only at 121 degrees. Lots of air. This is a good thing. We're at like 200 degrees, but it's burping continuously. New solution. I'm at my wit's end. So I took this old thermostat, took the center out of it, see what happens. I've been at this for 10, 12 hours today with no results. So I don't know what's going on, but this is my last ditch effort. I'm gonna give it a shot, and if this doesn't work, I don't know. I give up, I guess. This is absolutely absurd. Let's see you overheat now, you son of a bitch. All right, this is the last straw. I don't have a shirt on because I've been through 3 shirts because I've soaked them all with coolant running down my arms. If I see a temp above 200, I'm gonna have spaz. I'll let you know how it goes. All right, guys, no thermostat in the car. Idling. Almost at 190 degrees. Well, guys, I'm not in full spaz mode yet, and I think we're actually doing really okay. We're at about 197 degrees with no fans running. That's no thermostat, and just doing what it's doing, idling, 197 degrees. So I'm going to tap into the stock fans and fire them off manually with a power probe and see what we can do and see where that brings the thermostat to, or the temperature rather, down to. So we're getting closer. I mean, we're not overheating, and that's all I care about at this point in time. So let's see what this does, and we'll take it from there. Okay, well, as you guys know, I did have to pull the thermostat to get this car to cool down. Now I was able to get the fans running, and I got the car up to about 195 degrees, and then as soon as I turned the stage 2 fans on, which are the high ones, I was able to pull that down to 175. So the car's flowing really well, and the radiators are working, everything's going like it should. However, I'm a little bit nervous that not having a thermostat will be a negative, and especially in the cooler weather, as far in regards to actually overcooling. So I want to keep this car you know, at a normal operating temperature like every other car. So what I picked up here, and I think this will solve our problem, I got an inline thermostat. This is very simple. It's just 2 1.25" hose fittings. Thread this on, thermostat goes inside, done deal. Okay guys, I wound up installing the thermostat on the back side where the hottest water comes out of the motor. And right now we're climbing much faster than we have before. This thing would go about 1 degree every 30 seconds. So it'd take literally like a half an hour to warm up. So I'm hoping we'll see once we hit about 180, this temperature should drop significantly and our radiators should start heating up. And that way we know our thermostat's working. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this, and I'm already burping the system as well too. Getting some air bubbles out. Fingers crossed, guys, that this does it. Just hit 180 degrees. So the thermostat should be opening within the next couple degrees here. And I'm gonna go put my hand on the radiator, the driver's side radiator, which is the first one to get coolant, and see if this, see if the thermostat's opening for me. All right, we're at 183, and the radiator's still cold. You just need to give it a minute. All right, guys, the radiator just started getting a little warm, and it went to 183. Now it's back down. It's actually just went to 182. So I believe the thermostat has began to open, and we are regulating our temperature. I'm gonna let it idle here for a while and see what happens. All right, guys. So I've been sitting here a while just idling. Keep in mind there's no airflow to this and no fans going right now. So now that once all the coolant heats up, it will slowly start to creep without airflow. So it's essentially gonna do what it did before. And last time I let it go to like 190, 195, and then I hit my fans and it went to, I brought it down to 175. So I'm gonna let it go to like 190, I don't know, about 195. I'm gonna turn my fans on and we can watch this coolant temperature drop just like it did before. So we should see the sucker start dropping right now. So we're at 196. All right, you can see, so about a minute ago, we're at 197. Now we're down to 191. And we're just keep on dropping. So it's all airflow. So I don't know how Luke's gonna wanna do this. I don't know if he's gonna want it. He mentioned he might do it by speed. So when the car is running, we won't have the fans running, obviously. So we might do it via a speed sensor for the fan switch, or we could do temperature or whatever he wants to do. We'll see. But you know, as I've been talking here, we dropped another 3 degrees. So guys, I think I got it figured out. It works. We have a car that doesn't overheat, and now it shouldn't overcool either. So I'm just gonna drop this right down to 180 and see what happens. Make sure it doesn't dip below 180. Well, I've been sitting here with the fans ripping, which would also represent, you know, 40, 50 mile an hour airflow on the, you know, on the road, and I cannot get it below 182. So that's perfect, guys. Like I said before, without the thermostat, I got it down to 175 until I stopped. So I would assume I can get it colder, especially, you know, I live in Florida, so it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, in the winter, it gets, you know, 40s, 50s, and, you know, we don't want it to get overcooled for sure. You know, you obviously want to, you know, operating temp vehicle, and you want that to be consistent for everything to work properly. And yeah, guys, so we're idling at a cool 182 degrees, 26 pounds of oil pressure, 1,000 RPM approximately, and life is good, guys. So I'm fired up. I'm really fired up. This really pissed me off in the beginning, but here we are. And yeah, inline thermostat, that was the move on this deal. So thanks for watching, guys. Let's rip this thing, huh?